We've a couple of times done the 35 confession Buddha practice, and some people said that they liked that. It's been a little while. I thought we would try that again, since on Wednesdays we usually do more of a deity yoga kind of practice. So it is a more active kind of a thing than we normally do. But of course, it depends on what you feel comfortable with. Um, the prostrations, as we've said before, you can just hold the hands at the level of the heart in the mudra of prostration, or you can, while seated, do holding the hands at the heart and then going to the crown of the head, forehead, throat, and back to the heart. It's also a valid way of doing it while seated. And then, if you know what half length prostration is, you're welcome to do a half length prostration, or if you would like, you can do full length prostration. So those are the four kinds of options that you are welcome to do. And yeah. Okay. Sorry. Jeez. So we will just begin by centering ourselves, kind of letting go of the day, thoughts of the past or present. We'll take a few minutes to concentrate our awareness. So we let go of attending to the environment, allowing sights and sounds to be as they are without investigation. Constrain our awareness just to the body and mind. Concentrating that awareness on the physical sensation of the air moving into and back out of the tip of the nostrils. Noticing quickly when anything other than that one physical sensation is arising in the mind, and without judgment or frustration, lifting our awareness up from that distraction and placing it gently but firmly again and again on the breath. and then generate a broad and altruistic motivation for your time, thinking that the purpose of this practice in particular is to purify any negative karmic actions done in relation to other sentient beings. So we want to eliminate those, particularly to prevent, eventually through this practice, to close the door to rebirths in the lower realms. But thinking of doing that not only to simply avoid those experiences, but to be able to create the causes and the conditions to have the necessary circumstances to practice and complete the path. Wanting to do that also not for oneself, but for the benefit of others. And we'll begin with the visualization of the 35 confession Buddhas. So Shakyamuni Buddha is the first Buddha visualized in the space in front. He's seated on a throne decorated with pearls and supported by a white elephant. The pearl itself symbolizes purification of negativities. And the elephant symbolizes the power of the practice. The Buddha sits in the Vajra posture, wearing the robes of a monk. His right hand is in the earth, touching mudra, and his left hand is in his lap, holding a bowl filled with nectar. Imagine him floating in the air, about the size of the palm of one's hand. 34 rays of light emanate out and downward from the heart of Shakyamuni Buddha. At the tip of each ray is a pearl-decorated throne supported by a white elephant. These thrones are arranged in 5 rows beneath Shakyamuni Buddha, and the 34 remaining Buddhas are seated on them in the Vajra posture. The colors and the mudras in each row are different. In the first row, there are 6 Buddhas, dark blue in color, except for the third Buddha, King Lord of the Nagas, who has a white face. Their hand gestures are the same as Shakyamuni Buddhas. In the second row, there are 7 Buddhas, white in color, with their hands in front of their heart, in fists, one above the other, with index fingers pointing upwards, the upper fist holding the index finger of the lower. The seven Buddhas in the third row are yellow, with their left hands in the lap, in the meditation posture, and their right hands in the gesture of granting sublime realizations. The seven Buddhas in the fourth row are red, with both hands in meditative pose. The seven Buddhas in the fifth row are green, with their left hands in the meditation posture and right hands in the gesture of giving protection, in front of their heart, palm open and facing outwards. So these 5 rows are the additional Buddhas. Dark blue, white, yellow, red, and green. So just take a moment and try to feel as though you've invoked these 35 confession Buddhas, and that their energy is present in your space. We'll recite a multiplying mantra. Om Namo Manju Shriye, Nama Su Shriye, Nama Uttama Shriye Soha. Om Namo Manju Shriye, Nama Su Shriye, Nama Uttama Shriye Soha. Om Namo Manju Shriye, Nama Su Shriye, Nama Uttama Shriye Soha. And the verse of refuge and dedication, or refuge and bodhicitta. I, say your name, throughout all times, take refuge in the Guru, take refuge in the Buddha, take refuge in the Dharma, take refuge in the Sangha. I, say your name, throughout all times, take refuge in the Guru, take refuge in the Buddha, take refuge in the Dharma, take refuge in the Sangha. I, say your name, throughout all times, take refuge in the Guru, take refuge in the Buddha, take refuge in the Dharma, take refuge in the Sangha. So now we will engage in the section of prostration. So during this time, we recite the names of the 35 Buddhas while joining that with prostration. Um, I will be reciting the name of each Buddha 3 times, but you don't need to feel that you have to match the number of prostrations. You simply continue prostrating during the section of the verbal recitation. To the founder, Bhagawan Tathagata Arhat, perfectly completed Buddha, glorious conqueror, Shakyamuni Buddha, I prostrate. To the founder, Bhagawan Tathagata Arhat, perfectly completed Buddha, glorious conqueror, Shakyamuni Buddha, I prostrate. To the founder, Bhagawan Tathagata Arhat, perfectly completed Buddha, glorious conqueror, Shakyamuni Buddha, I prostrate. To the Tathagata thoroughly destroying with Vajra essence, I prostrate. To Tathagata thoroughly destroying with Vajra essence, I prostrate. To Tathagata thoroughly destroying with Vajra essence, I prostrate. To Tathagata thoroughly destroying with Vajra essence, I prostrate. To Tathagata radiant jewel, I prostrate. To Tathagata radiant jewel, I prostrate. To Tathagata radiant jewel, I prostrate. To Tathagata King Lord of the Nagas, I prostrate. To Tathagata King Lord of the Nagas, I prostrate. To Tathagata King Lord of the Nagas, I prostrate. To Tathagata Army of Heroes, I prostrate. To Tathagata Army of Heroes, I prostrate. To Tathagata Army of Heroes, I prostrate. To Tathagata Delighted Hero, I prostrate. To Tathagata Delighted Hero, I prostrate. To Tathagata Delighted Hero, I prostrate. To Tathagata Jewel Fire, I prostrate. To Tathagata Jewel Fire, I prostrate. To Tathagata Jewel Fire, I prostrate. To Tathagata Jewel Moonlight, I prostrate. To Tathagata Jewel Moonlight, I prostrate. To Tathagata Jewel Moonlight, I prostrate. To Tathagata Meaningful to See, I prostrate. To Tathagata Meaningful to See, I prostrate. To Tathagata Meaningful to See, I prostrate. To Tathagata Jewel Moon, I prostrate. To Tathagata Jewel Moon, I prostrate. To Tathagata Jewel Moon, I prostrate. To Tathagata Stainless One, I prostrate. To Tathagata Stainless One, I prostrate. To Tathagata Stainless One, I prostrate. To Tathagata Bestowed with Courage, I prostrate. To Tathagata Bestowed with Courage, I prostrate. To Tathagata Bestowed with Courage, I prostrate. To Tathagata Pure One, I prostrate. To Tathagata Pure One, I prostrate. To Tathagata Pure One, I prostrate. To Tathagata bestowed with purity, I prostrate. To Tathagata bestowed with purity, I prostrate. To Tathagata bestowed with purity, I prostrate. To Tathagata Water God, I prostrate. To Tathagata Water God, I prostrate. To Tathagata Water God, I prostrate. To Tathagata Deity of the Water God, I prostrate. To Tathagata Deity of the Water God, I prostrate. To Tathagata Deity of the Water God, I prostrate. To Tathagata Glorious Goodness, I prostrate. To Tathagata Glorious Goodness, I prostrate. To Tathagata Glorious Goodness, I prostrate. To Tathagata Glorious Sandalwood, I prostrate. To Tathagata Glorious Sandalwood, I prostrate. To Tathagata Glorious Sandalwood, I prostrate. To Tathagata Infinite Splendor, I prostrate. To Tathagata Infinite Splendor, I prostrate. To Tathagata Infinite Splendor, I prostrate. To Tathagata Glorious Light, I prostrate. To Tathagata Glorious Light, I prostrate. To Tathagata Glorious Light, I prostrate. To Tathagata Sorrowless Glory, I prostrate. To Tathagata Sorrowless Glory, I prostrate. To Tathagata Sorrowless Glory, I prostrate. To Tathagata Son of Non-Craving, I prostrate. To Tathagata Son of Non-Craving, I prostrate. To Tathagata Son of Non-Craving, I prostrate. To Tathagata Glorious Flower, I prostrate. To Tathagata Glorious Flower, I prostrate. To Tathagata Glorious Flower, I prostrate. To Tathagata Pure Light Rays, clearly knowing by play, I prostrate. To Tathagata Pure Light Rays, clearly knowing by play, I prostrate. To Tathagata Pure Light Rays, clearly knowing by play, I prostrate. To Tathagata Lotus Light Rays, clearly knowing by play, I prostrate. To Tathagata Lotus Light Rays, clearly knowing by play, I prostrate. To Tathagata Lotus Light Rays, clearly knowing by play, I prostrate. To Tathagata Glorious Wealth, I prostrate. To Tathagata Glorious Wealth, I prostrate. To Tathagata Glorious Wealth, I prostrate. To Tathagata Glorious Mindfulness, I prostrate. To Tathagata Glorious Mindfulness, I prostrate. To Tathagata Glorious Mindfulness, I prostrate. To Tathagata Glorious Name, widely renowned, I prostrate. To Tathagata Glorious Name, widely renowned, I prostrate. To Tathagata Glorious Name, widely renowned, I prostrate. To Tathagata King holding the victory banner of foremost power, I prostrate. To Tathagata King holding the victory banner of foremost power, I prostrate. To Tathagata King holding the victory banner of foremost power, I prostrate. To Tathagata Glorious One totally subduing, I prostrate. To Tathagata glorious one, totally subduing, I prostrate. To Tathagata glorious one, totally subduing, I prostrate. To Tathagata utterly victorious in battle, I prostrate. To Tathagata utterly victorious in battle, I prostrate. To Tathagata utterly victorious in battle, I prostrate. To Tathagata glorious transcendence through subduing, I prostrate. To Tathagata glorious transcendence through subduing, I prostrate. To Tathagata glorious transcendence through subduing, I prostrate. To Tathagata glorious manifestations illuminating all, I prostrate. To Tathagata glorious manifestations illuminating all, I prostrate. To Tathagata glorious manifestations illuminating all, I prostrate. To Tathagata all subduing jewel lotus, I prostrate. To Tathagata all subduing jewel lotus, I prostrate. To Tathagata all subduing jewel lotus, I prostrate. To Tathagata Arhat perfectly completed Buddha, King of the Lord of Mountains, firmly seated on jewel and lotus, I prostrate. To Tathagata Arhat perfectly completed Buddha, King of the Lord of Mountains, firmly seated on jewel and lotus, I prostrate. To Tathagata Arhat perfectly completed Buddha, King of the Lord of Mountains, firmly seated on jewel and lotus, I prostrate. And now we are in the section on the general confession. All those, you 35 Buddhas and others, as many Tathagatas, Arhats, perfectly completed Buddhas, as there are existing, sustaining, and residing in all the world systems of the 10 directions, all you Buddha Bhagawans, please pay attention to me. In this life and in all the states of rebirth in which I have circled in samsara throughout beginningless lives, whatever negative actions I have created, made others create, or rejoiced in the creation of, whatever possessions of stupas, possessions of the Sangha, or possessions of the Sangha of the 10 directions that I have appropriated, made others appropriate, or rejoiced in the appropriation of, whichever among the 5 actions of immediate retribution I have done, caused to be done, or rejoiced in the doing of, whichever paths of the 10 non-virtuous actions I have engaged in, caused others to engage in, or rejoiced in the engaging in, whatever I have created, being obscured by these karmas, causes me and sentient beings to be born in the hell realms, in the animal realm, and in the preta realm, in irreligious countries, as barbarians or as long-life gods, with imperfect faculties, holding wrong views, or not being pleased with Buddha's descent, in the presence of the Buddha Bhagawans, who are transcendental wisdom, who are eyes, who are witnesses, who are valid, and who see with omniscient consciousness, I am admitting and confessing all these negativities. I will not conceal them nor hide them, and from now on in the future, I will abstain and refrain from committing them again. All Buddha Bhagawans, please pay attention to me. In this life and in all other states of rebirth, in which I have circled in samsara, throughout beginningless lives, whatever roots of virtue I have created by generosity, even as little as giving just one mouthful of food to a being born in the animal realm, whatever roots of virtue I have created by guarding morality, whatever roots of virtue I have created by following pure conduct, whatever roots of virtue I have created by fully ripening sentient beings, whatever roots of virtue I have created by generating bodhicitta, and whatever roots of virtue I have created by my unsurpassed transcendental wisdom, all these assembled and gathered combined together, I fully dedicate to the unsurpassed, the unexcelled, that higher than the high, that superior to the superior. Thus I completely dedicate to the perfect, to the highest, perfectly complete enlightenment. Just as the previous Buddha Bhagawans have fully dedicated, just as the future Buddha Bhagawans will fully dedicate, and just as the presently abiding Buddha Bhagawans are fully dedicating, like that I too dedicate fully. I confess all negativities individually. I rejoice in all the merits. I urge and implore all Buddhas to grant my request. May I receive the highest, most sublime transcendental wisdom. To the conquerors, the best of humans, those who are living in the present time, those who have lived in the past, and those who will likewise come, to all those who have qualities as vast as an infinite ocean, with hands folded, I approach for refuge. So here we'll just pause and reflect, maintaining, holding the mind in that spirit of engaging in purification practice. Visualizing the power of the practice coming to fruition and the vows and pledges of the 35 Buddhas being actualized, and our body and mind being completely free of all negativity, clean and clear like crystal. All right. And so I've put a link in the chat if you want if you want to have a copy of. There might be some slight differences. I didn't use this exact text, but broadly the same. And then we'll dedicate. So we recollect our altruistic motivation. We think that by having engaged in this practice, we've actualized that motivation, created positive energy in the mind. We offer the fruit of our practice for the benefit of all sentient beings without exception. Thinking may that positive energy ripen as a cause and condition to completely eliminate war and conflict, poverty, famine, disease, disasters, all painful inner and outer conditions. May it fully ripen the minds of all sentient beings, and they quickly meet perfect teachers and arise in the state of full enlightenment. May I too achieve the state of enlightenment in order to work for the benefit of sentient beings perfectly. May any obstacles facing the Guru's long life be completely dispelled, and may I and all sentient beings come under the joyful care and guidance of enlightened beings in this moment. May we be guided and protected until we swiftly achieve that state of enlightenment.